Hey everyone, and welcome! Today we are going to crack the code on a concept that powers, well, pretty much all of finance. And you know what? It's not about some crazy complex math. It's all about one simple, super powerful idea. Money has a time value. Let's just jump right in with a question to show you what I mean.
Okay, so here it is. It seems almost too simple, right? Would you rather have $1,000 right now in your hand, or that exact same $1,000, but you have to wait a whole year to get it? Just think about it for a second. What does your gut tell you?
If you're like most people and you instinctively chose the money today, you're not just being impatient. No, you're actually thinking like a financial pro. That gut feeling, that simple choice, is the absolute bedrock for everything we're about to talk about. It is the key to valuing pretty much anything.
So let's dig into that instinct of yours. First up, we're going to look forward in time. We're going to figure out how to calculate the potential future power of the money you have right now. This is something we call future value.
Okay, so the official definition sounds a little dry, I get it. But the idea is really simple. Future value is just what we call the total amount of money you'll end up with at some point down the road if you invest it today. But the real magic, the secret sauce, is in those last two words: compound interest.
And that's all compound interest really is. It's this incredible snowball effect. It's not just your original money that earns interest. It's the interest itself that starts earning more interest. Seriously, it's one of the most powerful wealth-building tools on the planet.
And what's so cool is that you only need these three little ingredients to basically see into the financial future. First, you need your present value, or PV for short. That's just the cash you're starting with. Next up, you need the interest rate, which we'll call I/Y. And finally, you need N, which is just the number of periods. Usually years, you're going to let it grow. And that's it.
Let's make this super real with a quick example. Say you invest $200. After 1 year, at a 10% interest rate, you've earned $20. Great! Your new total is $220. But here comes the magic. In year 2, you earn 10% not on the original $200, but on that new, bigger total of $220. That means you earn $22, bringing your final future value to $242.
So you see what happened? That extra $2, that's the crucial part. It came from your interest earning its own interest. That, right there, is compounding in action, turning $200 into $242.
All right, so we've successfully traveled into the future. Now let's hop in our financial time machine and go the other way. We're going to talk about present value, which is all about figuring out what a future pile of money is worth to us right here, today.
Present value completely flips the question around. Instead of asking, what will my money grow into, it asks, hey, how much money do I need to put away right now to hit a specific target in the future? It's all about putting today's price tag on a future promise.
And this process has a name. It's called discounting. If you think of compounding as growing your money forward, discounting is what shrinks a future sum backward to tell you its value today. They are literally two sides of the exact same coin.
So let's pose a problem. Someone guarantees you $200, but the catch is you have to wait 2 years to get it. Now, if you know you could otherwise earn a 10% return on your money, what is that future $200 promise really worth to you today?
And the answer is $165.29. Now, why that specific number? Because if you took that much money today and you invested it for 2 years at that 10% return, it would grow to exactly $200. That's the present value. It is the secret to knowing what a future promise is actually worth.
Okay, fantastic. So we've totally mastered single payments, moving them forward and backward in time. But what about all the times when we're dealing with a whole series of regular payments? Well, let's level up and talk about something called annuities.
Now, annuity sounds like a fancy, technical term, but it's just a name for a series of identical payments made over and over again. And trust me, you're already familiar with these. Your monthly car payment? That's an annuity. Your rent payment? Yep, an annuity. Even those giant lottery payouts are usually paid out as an annuity.
Now, there is one super important detail we need to cover. The timing of the payment actually matters a lot. An ordinary annuity is when payments happen at the end of each period, like most loan payments. But an annuity due is when payments happen at the beginning, like paying your rent on the first of the month. That tiny little shift in timing actually changes the math, so it's a really key detail to watch for.
All right, this is it. This is the moment where it all comes together. We have our building blocks. We've got future value, present value, and annuities. So let's use all of them to solve a classic real-world finance problem, figuring out the fair price of a bond.
And please don't let the word bond scare you. At its core, it's just a loan. You're giving a company or a government some money. And in return, they promise to make these regular interest payments. We call those coupons. And then at the very end, they give your original money back. That's all it is.
And here is the big aha moment. Take a look at a bond's payments. See those regular, equal interest payments? Guess what? That's an annuity. And that final big lump sum payment you get back at the end, that's just a single sum payment. We already know how to value both of these things. A bond isn't some new, scary problem. It's just two simple problems we've already solved bundled together.
So the process is actually beautiful and logical. All you do is calculate the present value of that annuity of coupon payments. Then you calculate the present value of that final lump sum payment. Add those two numbers together, and that's it. You've got the fair price of the bond today.
And for the specific bond in our source material, when you run those numbers, you get a present value of €953.77. That's the answer. You just use the fundamental principles of finance to figure out what a real-world financial asset is actually worth. How cool is that?
So just take a second and think about the toolkits you've just built. You now have the power to project money into the future, to pull it back into the present, to handle streams of payments, and to put it all together to value things like bonds. You have literally learned the language of time and money.
And that brings us to our final thought. Now that you have this powerful new lens to look at the world through, what decision in your own life, maybe a savings goal, a loan you're considering, or an investment, what are you going to see in a completely new light? Thanks so much for joining me.